Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to show you how to make a balloon sleeve. It's called a GIGOT sleeve, a balloon sleeve, or a puff sleeve. So first off, I already made the top, so we're going to be needing this for the measurement of the round of the armhole. So I'm going to go ahead and measure my armhole here. This looks small, but it fits me, and something inside of me is telling me to trim it, but I won't listen to that little voice. So this measures 7, so that's going to be the armhole. The armhole measures 7. So I'm going to write that here so that I don't forget. So the armhole is 7. The length of the sleeve, I want it to be 22. Round arm is 10. So now the first thing, when I'm cutting sleeve, I just my 7 inches, I'm going to go ahead and measure it out here. So to that 7 inches, I'm going to add 1 inch for stitching. So what I just like is I like to just put it like so and then see where it stops, or you could measure 5 inches down and roll a line there. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come down by like 1 inch, and then on that 1 inch mark I'm going to measure my round arm. So my round arm was 10. If I divide 10 by 2, that's going to give me 5. So that's right here. God, I'm skinny. So that's right here. So now next thing I'm going to do is from here, I'm going to go ahead and just like draw this curve like so. So now on that curve, I'm going to go ahead and measure my 7 inches plus 1 inch, 8. So measure and see if it's going to accommodate my 7 inches. Okay, so it definitely accommodates my 7 inches. And this is where 8 inches stops. So I'm going to bring this down slightly by like half, because I want my 7 inches like extend more towards the side. Okay, so 7 inches, then 8 inches. I'm going to do it at like 8.5 right here. So I added ½ inch allowance, so that way I'm able to like gather my sleeve a little bit at the top here. You're going to see what I mean by that. So the sleeve length is 22. Measure 22 from here. So 22 inches. So 22 plus half plus 1 inch, that gives us 23. So 1 inch, half for folding the butt, for joining the bottom band, and half for joining this top part. So now on that line, I'm going to go ahead and draw a straight line. So now depending on the kind of sleeve I'm trying to make, if it was like a pencil sleeve, this part is going to be my wrist. I always measure my wrist. But since it's going to be like a balloon sleeve, I'm going to go ahead and just from here draw a straight line. So I'm not really bothered about the bottom measurement like this. So now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out this sleeve. So this is basically how I draft my sleeve. There's a specific measurement to get this, but that it's too technical for like if you're going to be doing it every day. So I just basically know how it's supposed to look, and I just make sure my measurements fit in there. So this is how I draft my basic sleeve. So now I'm going to show you how to get the GIGOT sleeve or balloon sleeve. So now if it's like a more fitted sleeve, you're going to take into consideration the round arm, the elbow, and the wrist. But since it's not a fitted sleeve, I'm just worried about here fitting. So this is my sleeve pattern. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to measure 1 inch, and then from that 1 inch mark I'm going to draw a straight line up and cut it. So we're going to do the slash and spread method. I've actually not really done this method a lot in my lifetime. I've done it like just once, and it wasn't for sleeves. So let's hope this works out well. So oh no, it's going to stop on this line. Ignore the fact that this got up to this part. It's going to stop on this round arm line. So 1 inch and the last 1 inch. Okay, so next I'm just going to cut it up to this point. that this has gotten here. So now on what I can do is I can go ahead and spread this on a brown paper. But I want to do it directly on the fabric, so that way you guys can actually see the contrast. Okay, so this is my fabric. I folded it into 4 so that way I'm going to cut all two pieces at the same time. So for the 2 sleeves, I'm cutting both of them at the same time. So now I'm going to go ahead and take my pattern and place it on my fabric, just making sure. Okay, so place it here, and then I'm going to pin it. So pin this part like so, and then pin this one too. So now I'm going to open this by 1 inch like this. Move this a little bit to the top so you guys can see. So now on this end, I'm going to open this by 1 inch like so, like this, and then I'm going to pin. This one, same thing, I'm going to open by 1 inch. So I'm going to basically open all of them by 1 inch. So this is what the sleeve is looking like. So now that I have it down, I'm just going to go ahead and cut it following this new marking that I already have. So this is what my sleeve currently looks like. So now next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut the band for my wrist. So for the band for my wrist, I'm just going to take my extra fabric and fold it. My hand can enter at 8 inches. I'm going to use 8 inches for my round wrist. So let's go ahead and trim this. Okay. So now I want it to be just 1 inch thick. I don't want it to be really thick. I want it to be just 1 inch thick. So I'm going to go ahead and measure out 3 inches, because 1 inch for the inside, 2 inch for the outside, ½ inch allowance for the inside, and ½ inch allowance for the outside. So I'm going to cut out 3 by 9. So mark my 3 right here, and then measure out 9 inches. Actually, I'm going to do it at 10 inches so that way I'm leaving 1 inch allowance, not ½ inch allowance. Okay, 10 inches, and then 3 here. 10 inches stops here. These are the pieces we need for our sleeves, the sleeve pattern itself, and then the band. So the first thing I'm going to do when sewing is I'm going to stitch my 1 inch right here. Let me take this thing off so it looks better. So it's not drastically going to be big, but it is big a little bit. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to separate my two. I have 2 here because I folded into 4. If you remember, go ahead and mark my back and my front so I don't mix it up. Okay, so first I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these, and whatever I'm doing to one, I'm doing to the other. Have that in mind. I'm going to stitch with 1 inch allowance straight down all the way to the bottom part. So now that I've sewn this, I'm going to go ahead and make a gather stitch around here. Then I'm going to drag the gathers to gather it. Then I'm going to go ahead and sew this on like a band. Okay, so next I'm going to go ahead and take my band, and then I'm going to fold it in 2. I'm going to measure 4 inches, and which leaves me 1 inch allowance, and I'm going to sew right there like so. I'm just going to go ahead and trim half allowance. I just added 1 inch allowance. I don't know why I did that, but instead of adding 1, you can add half, so that way you don't waste fabric like I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and open this and just kind of press it with my fingers so that way it stays open. First I'm going to turn this inside and turn it to the right side, because it's going to be easier if I sew it from the right side. Now that it's on the right side, I'm going to go ahead and put this one on the inside. So like this on the inside. So I turn this one inside out too and put it on the inside. So I'm just doing so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm putting this on the inside like this. So I'm just making sure that side aligns. So now next I'm going to go ahead and sew this round. Okay, so when you're done, you just go ahead and bring it back out like so. So it's going to look like this. Then next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this, fold it into like this, not into, fold 1/2 inch down, and then I'm going to use that to cover this like so. Then I'm going to sew round and keep doing this as I go. Okay, so next I'm just going to go ahead and sew a garter stitch on this cap part of the sleeve. So open it like so, and then just like less than 6 inches just on this cap side, I sewed a garter stitch. Now next I'm going to drag the gathers, like just regular gathers. So I'm not really like trying to give it a design, gather design. I'm just trying to make it have this cap right here. So you see with that little that I've pulled, it's giving it this cap effect. That's what I want to achieve, so that way the sleeve's not just standing like when kids sew clothes, but it's actually like falling like this. So now I'm going to go ahead and attach this to the body of my cloth. So I'm going to put it from on the outside. So I open this on the armhole part like this, that's that deep part, and then place it here to match like so. So now I'm going to sew it round. I'm going to start from that armhole point and sew it round. I'm going to take it off when I get halfway, like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and come back and start again from the armhole on the other side like this. So this is what works best for me as opposed to sewing it round once. This is how I fix my sleeves. So that was the last step, and this is how it turned out. I think I absolutely like how it fits me, and I wouldn't change anything about it. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to my channel and join our Telegram support group, and I'm gonna see you guys on my next video. Bye.